so I could just show that to you afterwards. But I'd say I will stop talking now and just share my screen, and then I will start presenting. Please give me a heads up if you can see something. Okay, perfect. And whenever you have a question, just fire away. This is what the demo is for. So let me start in this view. So this is something that could, I mean, feel a bit something you already know. You have a top view on things, on topics. So you start your workshop. We always talk about the workshop journey. You start the workshop with a little welcome area. You talk about today's topic, maybe do a warm-up game, do a brainstorming, prioritization, group work, etc. You all know that. And in Vispa, you don't have to put this on like two-dimensional boards, like in Miro or Mural, but you have a whole space. I think that's what you already found out through our website. And so if I had to say this, what you have here, this is like a virtual board here in the space. This is what you are already used to with those 2D collaboration tools. And what we give you is the environment that you can now create a space around that topic. So it's not a flat information, but it's a spatial information. Plus, you are a bit more than just a mouse cursor on these tools. So when you work with a group, you will actually see them here. Everyone has their own avatar, like this here. They can customize it to some degrees. This is just like still like a very minimalistic approach. And then you basically use this space to do your workshops or your project work or the collaboration formats you're using. Obviously, as you can see while I'm talking, my icon is flickering. So you have the voice over IP in Vispa included. So you don't need an extra tool to talk. You do that all in the space. And then if you go through a regular workshop where you would brainstorm problems or something, the next point is mostly something like a prioritization that you do. You can obviously set that up here. You could just create a voting and create the parameters. So you say, okay, that's a 3-minute voting and every person gets 10 votes, and then you go and you start it, and then people can go to this and they just click on it and vote. And as you can see, I have 3 votes left, so this one gets 3, and then I'm done. I could end it for all. And what you see now is that this information is always accessible and it's saved in the space. So if I go to show results, you see these votings here. And they stay here. So even after weeks, you can still show the group, oh, this is what we voted on. So in your journey, you voted on something and then you maybe split the group. And for groups, we always heard that people like these breakout sessions in Zoom, that you split up the group. So what we built is these these sound areas, which you can see like this, the blue shadow around this area here. And this basically means that everyone who's in here, in this area, can hear each other. People who are outside, someone in group 2, wouldn't hear us in here. And you can obviously just change that. I can remove that again, or toggle this one here and this one, and you can make several sound areas. So you can easily split up the group, and as a host, you still have the group all in one place. You see how active they are, what they are doing, and obviously, if you are maybe just timekeeping the group and you want to tell them, yeah, you only have 1 minute left, you as a facilitator have this megaphone here, and if you click that and hold it and speak, then it goes all through these barriers. So you can still very easily talk to the group and manage them, but not disturb them. So basically, just like in the real world where you have separate rooms and you just go into them, but now you would shout through them. And with regards to these areas, while I'm at it, you can obviously just customize them, colorize them, give them an outline and stuff like that. But you can also move them around. So the layout of your space is very flexible. So if you decide if you want the people to meet here and then move downwards, you can just change the orientation of these areas. You can also like rotate them easily and they just snap. And that way you can create like these journeys in the space that are still flexible, but they are always like not cluttered because they snap to each other, and you can align them, and we make them very like rectangular shapes and align well. And yeah, those are the areas. This is the group work, and one very unique thing, I think something that you wouldn't find currently anywhere else, not in a desktop app that's very easy to use and drag and drop, is our 3D use for real 3D prototyping. And what this means is we have these objects, we have a little library with like standard shapes, and also a few objects to like use actual things, people, of course, and also these building blocks like in Lego, for example. And what you do is you just drag and drop them out, and once they're in the space, you click them, you move them, and as you can see, they understand where I want to put it, the shapes, and then I just release it. And for example, this tower here, if I want to make the top thing longer, I just go like this and maybe like this, and then I can build like a little rooftop or something very easily. Of course, I can colorize that. And why we build that is because normally in these, maybe also in the design thinking process, you always, the prototyping is very important. And right now it always happens like on notes, and then maybe people draw a mock-up. But in Vispa, you can actually build your scenario. So if you want to create a little first idea of a charging solution at work for electrical cars and stuff like that, you will just build it very easily in here, and then you can talk about the prototype. You can actually test it in here. I mean, not with real mechanics, but you could take someone who hasn't seen it and tell them, okay, yeah, take a look at it. We've got places for electrical scooters and cars. What do you think? So you can do the real testing and interviewing also in Vispa, because people can actually move around and zoom in, and you can scale objects, obviously, very unrealistically to get a better view. And of course, you can also like move on to stuff. You can use the vertical to create different layers or shapes. And yeah, that's the prototyping. So what we give you is a very flexible 3-dimensional space that you just basically drag and drop things into. And if you like something, you can always copy paste it. So I click on this object here, copy it and paste it, and now I have it in my hands and I can put it here. And this logic applies to everything in the space. Areas, boards, nodes. The nodes are here, by the way, so you just drag them in. You can also put them on the board or on every object. And and then you create your own spaces. The people join. They can either be just working creatively in there, or you can also let them participate in the actual design of the space. So if you split a group, you can say you can start prototyping here and then maybe create a whole area for your prototype and for the next steps and stuff like that. So you can also do the iterations, go back and forth, and this is, and after a while you will have basically information spaces that are still, even though there's a lot of information in there, it will still be very intuitive to move around, because for you it's just a space, so you kind of remember how the area looks and where it was positioned. So this is way easier than if you work on a 2-dimensional canvas, because after a while it's really huge and you don't know, where was the target persona. And in a space that's very natural for us humans. So yeah. questions from your side after this quick walkthrough?
Yeah, so I think the basic questions that I have is this the typical? I mean, I like the layout, I like the idea, I like the prototyping because that gives more flexibility from a design thinking perspective, right? Like if when we do some prototyping from a industrial design perspective, those objects can really help if I compare it with the existing tools that we have, which is like a two-dimensional canvas.
Mhm.
So I like that idea. So this is good, and you can really visualize and things like that. So I really understand the benefit of this. Is there a way? I mean, it's just a question, right? I'm not. I'm just trying to say, like, is this the only view how we work here, or like, do you have a backend data? Like, for example, we are seeing retrospective here, right?
Mhm.
Right. So this is saying retrospective, and it has how do you feel currently, great stuff like that. So does this information go back in some backend database or something, or is it?
Um, I mean, I think what you're asking is, would you have a different view to this information, something like a table or a backend where you could access it and edit it? Is that your
Yeah, just
question?
filter it or something like that?
Yeah. No, right now, I mean, it's obviously stored in the database with the permission, so you access your spaces and the content is loaded, but it's not, there's just the visual access right now.
Okay, so everyone gets like whatever version or whatever plan they purchase, or they get this view. So there's a space, there's a 3D space, and you have the spaces designed, and you name the space, and you do the activity within it. So whenever you come back to brainstorm or ideate and stuff like that, this is what you see, and you walk around with team and everyone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to understand, right?
Yeah.
It's not I'm challenging or it's my requirement. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to understand the features and what was the thought process the Vista had when they're releasing this, right? So we can
Yeah.
use it better. So great. I think I like the ideas about it. So I pretty much understand what it is. Do you have like oh, I think that answers my next question. So you have all the templates of spaces and
Yeah.
everything.
We are working on templates
Mhm.
right now. What you can see here is, like, we took the challenge of putting everything that is in design thinking into one space, and we know that it's very unique how people understand the process, how they lay out it, but we want to give easy templates for like instruction boards. So basically, if you go to, we have here a group work for provide templates where you can say, oh, this is very easy. This looks very clean. There's icons on it. The only thing I would like to change is I don't want to be it to be 2 minutes, but 10 minutes, for example. And then if you like something like that, you can basically just steal it, because you take this area and you copy paste it and put it in your space that maybe you only want to focus on a persona workshop, and then you could just use this, and we will provide like basic templates for like standard stuff like brainstorming, a nice welcome area that is designed so people don't have the trouble to start. And maybe if you do a little brainstorming workshop, you just select, okay, welcome area, brainstorming, and feedback and next steps maybe. So you have a little workshop and you basically just drag it in. But afterwards, we are actually aiming that the actual experts, like you are one, start to build their own templates. Maybe if there's something they want to share as their own template, they can like make it public to the rest of the community. So basically similar to Miro, where we say we are the software experts and the 3D experts, but there are so many subject matter experts on different methods and workshop concepts and stuff like that. So we want them to like bring the content to Vispa, and if they want to like make it public because they want to be they want to label it as theirs, then they can do that. So there will be stuff that we put in, but we also want the community and aim for the community to put in additional templates and methods and little games and stuff like that. You would want to show it to your students?
Yeah. So the next step, what I was thinking was to show this area to my students and use this during my workshops is what I was thinking for. So I have taken a little bit of snapshot or a little bit of information so that I can put it in my social media. And if I get a request for further collaboration, I can do. So just taking your permission that if that's okay with you, if I can use this as a small clip in my social media so that it adds value.
If you use LinkedIn or something, feel free to like tag us as the company.
Yeah.
Account is Vispa. We're very happy about that. That helps us as well.
Great.
And so one more question: how large are your groups with whom you like collaborate in a workshop?
Yeah, so it all depends. I would say it's more like a funneling. So I think from past 90 days, I had 68,000 hits in my Facebook events, out of which I got around more than 8,000 responses. And I've been teaching this to more than 7,000 people in different platforms. So, but they are mostly the students, not like corporates. So that's the caveat,
And if you are actually like hosting workshops with how many participants would be in there? As a background, I'm asking this just to let you know. I mean that there's limits how many people can be in a space, both technical. I mean, we are very certain with 25 participants in a room that's in a space that's very manageable. But if it's more than that, there's actually it's difficult to manage the group because you also have these. You have to tell them, okay, we will go here now, and you don't have a forced view. Like I think in Miro, you can force them to look at something.
Right.
That's just as a background info, because that's the trade-off. We want a lot of engagement, that the people are very active. Right. But if you want that, you also have to provide freedom. You have to provide everyone the possibility to move around freely. If you limit that, then people will start like leaning back and just watching when they know, okay, I don't have to do anything or I can't do anything.
Yeah, I think 20 is a good number that we focus in one workshop in design thinking, manageable and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So afterwards, I will send you another email, and you can actually book a longer meeting with me. If you want to introduce it to someone else, then we can have more time, like 45 minutes or something, go more in depth. Right. And then I can also provide you a test access, so you can test it for yourself and move around and learn the movement. It's all, I mean, you can use only the mouse if you want. If you are very experienced, you can use like WASD to walk and the mouse to move around. Yeah. Takes a few minutes depending on the degree of like game experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. I think that was good. And just one thing, like for example, do you have like the reason I was saying, or I brought the point, like most of my students, they are individuals from different company. Like as on today, I do not have a collaboration with corporates or industries, right? So my question was like, when people join my classes, they normally join some or use the tools in design thinking, which is forever free and stuff like that, right? With some limitations to it and stuff like that. So before we end, like I just want to check with you, like if I'm bringing this tool on board with my students, how flexible it is that they can experience this.
Yeah. There is a forever free version, which limits you to, I think, one space currently. So you can have one space. So you technically could have a paid account with one space. All your students use their free account, and they only get access to this space that you share with them, and then they can use it. Once they want to start a new space, they wouldn't be able to do that. And then based on the pricing afterwards, I don't know if that is interesting for you, we don't charge for registered users in bigger accounts. For corporates, we don't charge for individual registered users, but for users that use continuous simultaneous users online, usos we call them. So if a company can purchase 20 seats, they can have 200 accounts, but 20 seats means 20 people can use Vispa at the same time. So they could have 2 workshops with 10 people. And once they're done, someone else can use it. That's the model. So you don't pay per the user that you sign up, but only for the simultaneous usage.
Perfect. So this free version is forever, you said, and so if I'm visualizing it just for my purpose, right? For when I say my purpose, I will be using this and promoting this mostly for prototyping, because if I have and maybe for all, along with the other tools, I would also look into Vispa and give them a chance to experience this. Maybe with whatever strategy, I'll put that in backend. And what I understand is, I will be able to create an account in Vispa, and I will get a forever access free with only one space, right? So I can typically, if I need to do a persona session, I will have to delete everything in the space, have a persona created, right? Or maybe I can have in one space, I can have one corner persona, one corner prototype, something like that.
You could build a huge space and say persona is to the right and prototyping to the left. That's the. I mean, there are some limitations at some point, but
right. Yeah, great. Yeah,
first step you can do that.
Okay, so that's how. So what will happen typically is a lot of students would be jumping into the space whenever they come in, hop in, hop out, hop in, hop out. But that space, I will have a control into it and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, the participants can change stuff, so they could put notes somewhere, and then depending on our permission system is not yet really finalized, where right now everyone can do everything. In the future, it's your space, you are the owner, and maybe that limits people from creating areas or something like that.
Great. Yeah, I think this was good. I think if you're running out of time, I did not keep the time check, but definitely let's have another 45 minutes where we both can collaborate and look into it. So that will be really exciting. So I think I would be really excited to have something like, can we are you running out of time? How do you want to fix the next session?
I'm running out of time. I will send you an email.
Perfect,
you can look for an appointment, and then we go from there.
Yeah, let's have in 45 minutes next time. Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
take care. Bye-bye.